Hello everyone, my name is Dika Romadhona, voice Selamat Budi Kusuma. Machine number is A3202020010. Welcome to my presentation on the principle of material development in English language teaching, or ELT. Today I want to present about the the key ideas about how teaching material can support effective and meaningful language learning. So let's begin. So, what is material development? Well, when we think of material, most of us picture about textbooks, but well, material is so much than that. Materials can include poems, real-life ads, spoken stories, or even classroom discussion. Tomlinson reminds us that whether we're writing a worksheet or choosing a video, we should base our decision on how people actually learn languages. Teaching can take many forms, direct, indirect, or even responsive depending on learner needs. Alright, we'll move on to language learning key concepts. Well, language learning is not just memorizing rules. It both consciously when we both study grammar and subconsciously like when we pick up patterns in conversations. Learner both learner develop both declarative knowledge, knowing about the language, and procedural knowledge, knowing how to use it. Ultimately, we aim for communicative competence, which is built through experience, not just study. Alright, we'll move on to the principle of good study. Good materials. Okay, so at the Tomlinson principles, it says that. Alright, the fourth is principle of good materials. So now let's look at the Tomlinson principles. First, good materials must have impact. They should grab learners' attention using novelty, variety, and engaging design. Secondly, they should help learners feel at ease, which means clear layout, relatable content, and a friendly tone. The third, they should build confidence, not by making anything easy, but more challenging to learners in achievable ways that make them feel successful. Then learners should see the content as relevant and useful. Well, we can create this relevance by connecting activities to real-world tasks and interests. Even something as simple as writing letter of complaint or a love letter. Like learner in Namibia mentioned, another key idea is self-investment. Learners should be invited to make discoveries, choose topics, and take control of their learning. Then exposures and attention. Well, Tomlinson emphasized exposure to authentic input, real language use in context. It could be radio interview, a real conversation, or online blog. But learners also need help noticing how language works. This can happen consciously and subconsciously. This can happen consciously or subconsciously through tasks that direct their attention to grammar, vocabulary, or discourse patterns, and encourage real communication. We also need to provide opportunities for authentic communication. This means that learner not only doing like repeating phrases, they are using the language to get things done. For examples include problem-solving tasks, creative storytelling, or giving opinions. These tasks uh, help learners to develop their fluency and help learners to test out the language that they have already learned. And personalization and variety. Every learner is different. So therefore, material should accommodate a wide range of learning style, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and so on. Also, affective factors like motivation and emotion shape learning. That's why it's important to include variety and even let students discuss their attitudes toward learning and English itself. Alright, then additional principles. Some additional principles are worth highlighting. Give beginners time, a silent period before pushing them to speak. Stimulate the whole brain with tasks. They are intellectual, creative, and emotional, not just mechanical drills. And don't rely too much on controlled practice. Instead, focus on tasks with real outcomes. Also, feedback need to highlight effectiveness, not just grammar accuracy. Alright, let's wrap it up. Good material are engaging, authentic, and designing with learner in mind. They support long-term meaningful learning, not just short-term performance. As Tomlinson puts it, good materials stimulate learning, not just practice. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoy this material that I deliver to you. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.